last word when later he was introduced to a poem by Robert Herrick, Delight in Disorder. A sweet disorder in the dress kindles in clothes a wantonness, a lawn about the shoulders thrown into a fine distraction, an erring lace which here and there enthralls the crimson stomacher, a cuff neglectful and thereby ribbons to follow confusedly, a winning wave deserving note in the tempestuous petticoat, a careless shoestring in whose tie I see a wild civility, do more than bewitch me than when art is too precise in every part. Sharing an attic bedroom with David Hockney from 1943 to 1957, from childhood through mid-teen years, I had no perception he was to become one of the greatest artists of the 21st century. He quietly kept his own counsel about his life plan until he became devious to ensure his future followed the artistic path he so passionately sought. Whenever I met people telling me I know my station in life, I was sad, not because my family were any better, but because we were aware, informed. We knew we had a choice, and we used it. The Hockneys. Never worry what the neighbours think is written to share my stories of the Hockneys of Bradford. John Hockney, Lyra, Australia, 2018. Chapter 1. Mum's Parents. Charles and Hannah Thompson. My interest in storytelling grew whenever my mother spoke about her childhood and her mother and father. As Grandad Thompson died before I was born, I became inquisitive about who he was and where he came from. From an interview with my mother in 1989, I was able to compile this story. Charles Thompson lay in a meadow, relishing summer's setting sun. He lay on his back, hands cupped behind his neck to support his head as he chewed leisurely on a straw. The smell of newly mown hay filled the air. His eyes absorbed the gently undulating countryside where he lived and worked, creating a visual memory stored to renew at will. Charles was leaving this countryside of Dereham in Norfolk to start his appointment as captain of the Salvation Army citadel in Bradford, the heart of the industrial north and a far different place to his native homeland. When the dark, satanic blackness of smoke-filled air became too much to bear, he often recalled the sweetness and joy of that evening. A Christian and founding member of General William Booth's Salvation Army, Charles was a fervent follower, passionate with empathy and a deep desire to help others, the reason he became captain. Whenever Charles felt doubt or despair, he recalled Booth's citation, "While women weep as they do now, I'll fight. While little children go hungry as they do now, I'll fight. While men go to prison in and out as they do now, I'll fight. While there is a drunkard left, while there is a poor lost girl upon the streets, while there remains one dark soul without the light of God, I'll fight to the very end." He was given a third-class train ticket in a carriage with wooden seats. Through the train window, Charles took pleasure gazing at the lush green pastures of Norfolk and Lincolnshire. Gradually the landscape changed from golden fields to the cold slag heaps and steel mills of Sheffield and beyond. Darkness cloaked the atmosphere as he disembarked at Bradford, his final destination. Standing momentarily outside the station, he looked up at the smoke-filled sky, pondering his years ahead before striding towards the citadel that was to become his home as he spread the word of the Lord. Cluttered by mills and terraced back-to-back stone cottages, the Leicester Dyke Salvation Army citadel seemed removed from the human despair around it. This was the place where God and General William Booth sent Charles to save souls. Unlike his native Norfolk, Bradford was densely populated, houses crowded around mills and scouring houses. He faced his first major problem. Cheap licenses for public beer houses were offered to anyone prepared to open one. An ordinary house could open their front room or parlour, provide seats and glasses, and offer pints or half-pints of the local brew of beer from a barrel propped upon a table. The fast-growing pub industry lured men living on the breadline into temporary retreat on drunken Friday night binges. They tried to forget their abject deprivation. Children stood